So the World Series of Poker 2013 is coming up. It'll start airing on November the 4th and 5th. This will be main event final table coverage on ESPN. And I wanted to take you through some of the players that are involved because I haven't seen most of these players before, and where they stand relative to each other in chip stacks, and maybe give you some predictions about who's going to win. So in seat 1 here we have Sylvain Loosli. He is a professional poker player from France, lives in England. He is not very accomplished as a tournament player. I've not seen him around before, and he doesn't have much on Hendon Mob. So I'm not really confident that he's going to go far, but on the other hand, he does have a good stack of chips. He's got 10% of the chips on the field, which is just above average. I probably see him going out 6th, maybe 5th. Okay, the next is Michiel Brummelhuis. He is a 32-year-old poker player from the Netherlands, from Amsterdam. He is a reasonably good poker player. This is his 4th time in the main event, and he's earned his living playing poker for a while now. But he is not that experienced in the high-pressure World Series poker final tables. I'm not sure where to put this guy. He's got a pretty good stack. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong guy. I'm looking at Mark. No, he doesn't have much of a stack at all. He's probably going to go out maybe 9th or 8th. I doubt you see him crawl past 7th. If he does get a good double up, he might double up off of somebody like Jay Farber or JC Tran, who are known to be aggressive. But he is kind of in bad position for Tran, who is likely the most aggressive person at the table. So given the positions that we're in here, I see him just simply getting bullied around by Farber. Not to mention that David's going to have to start making some moves across the table pretty quickly if he's going to stay alive. So I'm not sure that Michiel is going to last very long. Now on to Marc Newhouse. Marc's a 28-year-old poker pro. He's played in all the main events since 2006. He's a very good player. He is a very good tournament player. But he is very short stacked. He's got the 2nd smallest stack on the table with just 7 times the big blind plus antes. That's called M. If you see in this chart down over on the left-hand side, there are relative chip counts organized by ranking the percentage of chips they have at the table, which is theoretically the percent of the pot they own, and then the number of M that they have, where M is Harrington's M, which is the total size of the pot divided into the total chip stack, and that gives you the total number of orbits you could go without playing a hand. So Marc is he's down at 7M, which is like yellow zone, but at the end of the day, he is probably going to be the type of player who makes some moves on these big stacks, and some of these big stacks are inexperienced, and he might chip his way back up. He probably will go out either 4th or 5th, or he could go out last. Reiss, a 23-year-old poker pro from Michigan. He's played in a few World Series poker events. This is his first main event, but he has cashed 4 times at events in the past. He's got $300K in live career earnings. He is the youngest player at the final table, but he is clearly an accomplished player. And he's doing pretty good. He's 4th in chips. He's got 25 million, which is well in the green range. He's not hurting for chips, and he can sit back and wait and bust some of these smaller stacks. So we expect to see Ryan go out maybe 3rd, maybe 4th. But really, with any of these top 5 players, any of them have a shot at first. So next is Amir Lehavot, 38-year-old Israeli. He is a gold bracelet champion. He won the 10,000 buy-in pot limit Omaha in 2011. He's cashed 12 times in the World Series of Poker for 800 grand, and he is at more than 1.5 million poker earnings career. He is the oldest poker player remaining in the field. He is 38 years old. Amir is very, very experienced, and that's why he's the second chip leader. I expect him to go far. I would put him in the top 3 for sure. He is not going to let these smaller stacks take advantage of him. He knows how to play poker, and he understands it on a very deep level, given that he plays so many different events and so many different kinds of poker. So I give him a good shot to go far. Next up is Marc McLaughlin. He is a 25-year-old tattoo artist. He does play the World Series of Poker. This is his 5th year playing the main event. But he doesn't consider himself a professional poker player. He has won 6 previous times in the World Series of Poker for $600,000. But this event obviously doubles his past winnings by itself. So he does make several deep runs in tournaments, but the fact that he doesn't consider himself a professional lends me to believe that maybe he doesn't study the game as deeply as some of these other players. I put him going out maybe in 4th or 5th. His issue is that he's surrounded by lots of big stacks. He's got big stacks here, and probably the most dangerous player on the table, Tran, is directly to his left. So he's not going to be able to make many moves against a highly skilled big stack. If he does try, he's probably going to get hurt. So I don't see him going far. JC could get too aggressive and bust out against some of these smaller stacks, but the likelihood is that he won't make that mistake. So I see Marc going out pretty late, but still maybe not top 3, maybe top 4. We'll see how that goes. Tran, the chip leader entering the final table. 36-year-old poker pro from Sacramento, 44 previous World Series poker cashes, 2 bracelets, and a circuit ring, $1.8 million in World Series poker earnings, $9 million in career earnings. So this is the player to beat at the table. He is a consummate poker professional. Everyone knows him. He is very skilled, very aggressive, and he will be running this table if the other players let him. Next up, David Benefield, the short stack on the table. David is from Fort Worth, Texas. He's a part-time student, part-time poker player, as many of us were, and he's got a $600,000 career poker earnings in live poker. He has played the main event 5 times before, so he is pretty good at this whole tournament poker thing. But he is short stacked, so what I expect to see is for him to make some moves very, very early, potentially against these 2 small stacks here, and potentially against this big stack here. I expect to see him bust out in 9th, though nobody's going to let him get much traction, unfortunately. And then Jay Farber here is the 28-year-old Las Vegas VIP host from Pennsylvania. He's not a professional poker player. He's just a hobbyist, but he does play pretty aggressively. He's never cashed a World Series poker and shows lifetime poker winnings of $2,000. He's the amateur at the table, which means he might be pretty erratic, might be hard to read, but he also might make lots of mistakes. So Jay he's doing all right. He's 4th in the chip counts, but I expect him to go out maybe 6th, maybe 7th. So my predictions for the structure of how this is going to go down is we're going to have Tran most likely in 1st. We're going to have Amir most likely in 2nd. Those are my 2 favorites. They are currently the chip stack, and they are the 2 best players at the table. So barring any bad runs, I expect to see them do pretty good. 3rd, I'm going to put Ryan. 4th, I believe I will put Marc. I think 5th through 9th are going to be kind of a toss-up. Most likely Sylvain's going to be 5th. Marc's going to be 6th. Michael will be 7th, David will be 8th, and Jay will be 9th. And those are my predictions. You can do with them what you will. So let's just take one look at this upcoming level structure here. The current blinds are 200, 400 with a 50,000 chip ante. It's going to go up to 250, 500 in 42 minutes, and then it's 120 minutes, 2 hours per level after that to 3, 6, 4, 8, and then 5 and a million. So once we start getting up in this range, especially around the 4-8, we expect to be heads up or three-handed. Most players will be busting out. Everybody is pretty short, and we're going to see lots of bust outs, at least 2 or 3 within the next 3 hours, which will still have us at 250, 500. So that's our read on the World Series Poker Final Table. We hope you'll check us out on riskoriented.com for more poker news and strategy. Check out our YouTube poker series, the U Poker Academy, to learn more about tournament poker. And be sure to check us out right here on U Poker Academy's World Series Poker 2013 playlist. As the action develops on November 4th and 5th, we will be serving you all great content, looking at hands that have been played and talking about the players, updating our evaluations and so on. So we'll see you soon.